Hello everyone, I'm Chill. Welcome back to the Learn English Quickly channel. As a college student living in Vancouver, I come into contact with people from different cultural backgrounds every day, which has taught me a lot of cross-cultural communication skills. Today, I would like to share with you some of my experiences in Vancouver on how to understand and respect different cultural customs. I hope these experiences can help you communicate and get along better in a multicultural environment. I remember when I first arrived in Vancouver, it felt like stepping into a whole new world. People from different countries, speaking different languages, and following different customs. It was exciting but also a bit overwhelming. As a student, I quickly realized that understanding these cultural differences was going to be key to making friends, fitting in, and thriving in this diverse environment. One of the first things I learned was how important it is to be aware of personal space. Back home, we might stand close when talking to someone, but here, people appreciate a bit more distance. I had to adjust and respect that, especially in crowded places like the bus or while waiting in line. Then there's the matter of greetings. In some cultures, a firm handshake is a sign of respect, while in others, a slight bow or even a kiss on the cheek might be more appropriate. I once awkwardly offered a handshake to someone who was leaning in for a cheek kiss. It was a bit of a cultural clash. Now, I pay more attention to how others greet me and try to follow their lead. Food is such a fascinating gateway into understanding different cultures, and I've found it to be one of the most enjoyable ways to connect with people from diverse backgrounds. Whenever I share a meal with friends from different parts of the world, I'm not just tasting new dishes, I'm also getting a glimpse into their way of life, their history, and their traditions. One memorable experience was when a friend from Japan invited me over for dinner. I was excited, but also a bit nervous because I didn't want to accidentally do something disrespectful. As we sat down to eat, she served a beautiful bowl of ramen, and I noticed everyone around the table slurping their noodles loudly. Now, where I come from, slurping is usually considered bad manners, so I hesitated at first. But then my friend explained that in Japan, slurping your noodles is actually a sign of appreciation. It shows that you're enjoying the meal. This was a completely new concept to me, and it made me realize how something as simple as eating can carry deep cultural significance. The more I thought about it, the more I understood that food is much more than just nourishment. It's a way to express identity, share stories, and preserve traditions. For instance, my friend told me that in Japan, meals are often seen as a moment to bond with family and friends. Every dish has a story, and every meal is a celebration of togetherness. The act of slurping the noodles wasn't just about enjoying the food, it was about engaging with the culture and showing respect for the effort that went into preparing the meal. This experience also made me more curious and open to learning about other food customs. For example, I learned that in some Middle Eastern cultures, eating with your right hand is customary because the left hand is considered unclean. In contrast, in Ethiopian culture, it's common to share food from a single large plate, which symbolizes unity and trust. These customs might seem small or unusual at first, but they carry significant meaning and are deeply rooted in the values of the culture. So now, whenever I try a new dish or share a meal with friends from different backgrounds, I'm always on the lookout for these little cultural nuances. It's amazing how much you can learn about a place and its people just by paying attention to how they eat and what they eat. And the best part, by engaging with these customs, I feel like I'm not just learning about the culture, I'm becoming a part of it, even if just for a moment. In the end, these shared meals have taught me that food is a universal language. It's a way to break down barriers, build connections, and foster understanding between people from all walks of life. And that, to me, is the essence of cross-cultural communication. Language, of course, plays a huge role in cross-cultural communication. I've found that even if you're not fluent in someone's language, making an effort to learn a few phrases can go a long way. It shows that you respect their culture and are willing to meet them halfway. I've been trying to pick up some basic phrases in different languages from my friends, and it's always met with a smile. Another important aspect is understanding different communication styles. In some cultures, people are very direct and straightforward, while in others, they might be more indirect to avoid conflict or maintain harmony. I've had to learn to read between the lines and not always take things at face value. It's been a bit of a challenge, but it's helped me become a better listener and more empathetic in conversations. One thing I've come to appreciate is the importance of being open-minded and non-judgmental. Everyone's culture has its own unique practices and beliefs, and just because something is different doesn't mean it's wrong. I've learned to ask questions when I don't understand something and to approach new experiences with curiosity rather than judgment. Living in Vancouver, I've also become more aware of cultural celebrations and holidays that I wasn't familiar with before. Whether it's Lunar New Year, Diwali, or Nowruz, participating in these events has been a great way to connect with my classmates and learn more about their backgrounds. It's also made me realize how much we all have in common, despite our differences. In the end, I think cross-cultural communication comes down to respect, patience, and a willingness to learn. It's not always easy, and I've made my share of mistakes along the way, but each experience has taught me something valuable. As a student, being in such a multicultural city is an incredible opportunity to grow and expand my understanding of the world. So, whether you're in Vancouver or anywhere else, remember that understanding and embracing cultural differences can lead to some of the most rewarding relationships and experiences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Learn English Quickly.